Hey neighbors, Kevin here with etrailer, and today we're going to be spotlighting one of our vendors, SuperSprings International, with Brian here. And why don't you give us a little bit of a background on SuperSprings and what your guys' vision is?
So SuperSprings International has been around for over 20 years. They started off with the SuperSpring product, our namesake, which is this guy right here, the steel helper spring. And then in 2002 we came in with the Sumo product, which is the yellow, blue, and black product you see there on the table. Our main goal is to just help our customers journey better. We want guys to get from where they're going, or from where they started to where they're going, as easily as possible, as safe as possible, and as comfortable as possible. And that's our goal. We just want to help everybody get where they're going safely and do their jobs, whether it's commercial, whether it's recreational, and we want it to be safe.
Well, it kind of falls along with the lines of our vision here at etrailer. So we have all these parts in front of us. Why don't we go ahead and get a little bit of a breakdown?
Sure.
What's the purpose for each one of these? What application would I use each one of these for?
So we'll start off with the namesake product. This is the SuperSpring. That's this black spring here. The yellow spring here, this represents your standard leaf pack on your vehicle. So the SuperSpring will go over top and help support and pull up on that leaf pack, give you load leveling capacity and additional load support. That was going to be for vehicles that are loaded primarily 100% of the time. So commercial vehicles, things like RVs, or maybe even guys that have a landscape company and they've got the bed of their truck constantly full of stuff.
Yeah, so bigger trucks, maybe if you have like a gas tank in the back or other heavy equipment that doesn't really leave the bed each time.
Yes.
All right.
And then this is our Sumo Spring product. This product is going to be for vehicles that are not loaded 100% of the time. So let's say like lawn companies that have a tank in the bed of the truck and they go out and they spray pesticides all day. At the end of the day, that tank's empty. So they're riding home and they don't want to ride on a stiff suspension on the way home. They want that nice smooth ride. So this will provide the load leveling they need when the vehicle's loaded, and when it's unloaded, you'll get the factory ride.
Sounds good. What about some of these guys down here? I know this is going to be still on our rear suspension.
Yes, so this is what we call a super sway stop, and this essentially just engages your overload sooner. This is meant to be used in conjunction with an airbag or one of our Sumo springs. And then this is a Sumo spring for a Sprinter van. It's just a little different style, but still the same microcellular polyurethane product.
And finally,
this guy right here, this is the coil Sumo. So these just slip into your standard coil spring on your vehicle. They give about 30% capacity back to your vehicle. They will reduce sway, body roll, and they'll mitigate some of the vibration.
Yeah, I actually have some of that on my truck myself, and I can't speak enough about the better handling, just not leaning side to side as I make turns when I'm cornering, especially if you're going at a higher speed. So honestly, just super easy, great product. It's pretty much maintenance free. Is there anything we should be doing with these? Or
no.
Even our Sumos? Is there should you spray it down at all at any point? Or
nope, you don't have to. They are chemical resistant. The microcellular polyurethane is a very durable product. The road salts and stuff won't hurt them. I mean, it doesn't hurt to spray them off and keep them clean, but we've had no issues with them breaking down. They should last over the life of the vehicle.
Sounds good to me. Now, with our Sumo springs, how would I differentiate what's going to be the best for me? What if you said these are more for if you're not hauling heavy every single time? How would I know what size, color, capacity is going to be the right fit?
Sure. So typically, blue is going to be for your lighter recreational vehicles. Black is going to be more for work trucks, and yellow is going to be more oriented towards commercial trucks. Now, depending on the application, the densities will be different according to the size of the Sumo and how much nitrogen we put into them. So each application is slightly different, but as far as the load carrying capacity, we'd have to pull up the specs for your specific vehicle and see which each one lists. Because a blue is not going to be, let's just say, 1,000 pounds for every vehicle. A blue might be 500 pounds for one vehicle and it might be 1,000 for another. So we really got to look at the specs there on the website to really dial that in.
Okay.
But these are going to be more for your These are going to be for like 1,500 to 2,500 trucks. When you get into these, we do use these on a lot of RV applications, a lot of 2,500s, 3,500s. But if you've got, like, say, a F350, 250, 450, you know, 3,500 Chevys, that's where this product shines. This is our two-piece Rebel product. So as you're riding down the road, it'll sit about like this. You'll have about an inch and a half gap. So as your suspension moves, you know, you get your factory ride. Now, as soon as you load a trailer on that, it'll come down, it'll touch, and it'll give you 5,000 pounds of load support at that point. These are meant as an airbag replacement. So they'll fit in the same location as an airbag would. And they're a little more heavy duty, so you know, you're getting 5,000 pounds with this, whereas these, you might get up to, and I'm just guessing off the top of my head, like the yellow I think might go up to 2,000, maybe a little more on certain applications. So you know, if you're hauling big trailers with a 350 or something, that's going to be the product you're going to need.
This is typically what we see a lot of down in the shop, just because we have a lot of motorhomes come through. As you know, motorhome suspension's pretty much non-existent for comfort. It's just to get you from A to B.
Correct.
So this actually does make a huge difference on that ride quality. You're not feeling every single bump in the road, and you're actually able to kind of drive around without feeling like you're swaying back and forth so heavily.
Correct. Yeah, that will give you the sway control. It'll stop the vehicle from sagging. It'll mitigate a lot of those big jolts and the jouncing that you get from a trailer sometimes. You know, because a trailer suspension, there's not much to them. You know, they don't spend a lot of money in the trailer suspensions, unfortunately, and they don't have shocks. So they get to bouncing, and sometimes you'll feel that in the cab of the truck, and those help mitigate that.
So what can we do to kind of quell any neighbors' concerns with any wear and tear on their products? Is there anything that you guys see, any kind of returns that you're seeing a lot of, or anything that we should kind of focus on?
The only real issue that we see returns-wise is usually incorrect installation. As far as the durability of the product, we have torture tested it many times, and they should last the life of the vehicle or longer. We actually have a video on our website that people can pull up, and we do a torture test where we submerge it in a lake for 2 days. We drill holes in it. We shoot it with a gun. We blow it up with tannerite. I mean, we drag it behind a truck. We burn it, and then we put it right back on the vehicle and put a trailer on it, and it still performs like it did from the factory. So as far as their concerns, no, there should be no concerns. I mean, the product is very durable. So I don't know if that helps answer your question, but you know, that in my mind, once you see that video, it put me at ease as far as the product durability. Because I know a lot of people think, oh, it's foam. Well, it's a little different chemical makeup than that. It's quite a bit tougher than foam. It will outlast your vehicle, I promise you. We have our zero maintenance policy, which tells you there's nothing you need to do to it. You don't need to hose them off. You don't need to keep them clean. Lifetime warranty. So if it comes off the vehicle, you lose it, we'll replace it. If something happens, it's destroyed, we'll replace it. That's to the original owner only. And then a 30-day money-back guarantee. So if you buy it and whatever reason you don't like it in 30 days, return it.
So for smaller crossover vehicles, people that are just kind of starting to get into this world of trailer towing or just off-roading, camping, stuff like that, what would you recommend for those people that just don't have the leaf springs to add a SuperSpring to, or there's not a fit when it comes to the Sumos? Which product would you want to
So
go
in
with?
that case, our coil Sumo is going to be the product they're going to want. These slide right into your coil springs. You can use them front or rear. If you're hauling a trailer with a smaller crossover SUV, this will help give them the capacity to do that without the back end sagging really far. You can use them in the front, and it'll help with sway control or nosedive on braking. We've actually got some police departments that use these on their Explorers. They were having issues with stability at high speed, and these mitigated that issue.
And how would we go about figuring out which one is going to fit exactly? Just because there's not really a great guide, at least on our side of it. Everything's kind of fit guided for each specific vehicle. So when there's not that fit, how would we figure that out?
Yes, so with that being a universal product, there are many different sizes. We can go on the website and there is a tool you can print out and cut out, and you just slide it in between the coils, and whichever one fits in between the coil, it'll have a part number on it, and that'll tell you which one you need.
So we've talked a lot about vehicle suspension. Can you tell us a little bit more about your trailer suspension side?
Sure. So this is going to be our trailer Sumo product. This specific one is meant to mount on top of the leaf pack. We have two main styles. You have spring over or spring under. That's going to be two important things to ask. And then the next thing is going to be what the spacing is above the spring pack, because there is a minimum requirement to fit these in there.
Yeah, to get them in between that and the frame.
Correct.
How would I know what is the right capacity for me?
I think this is 5,000 and this is 7,000 pounds.
So I just need to look at the axle and figure out what my capacity is.
Correct, yes. Yeah, you look at your trailer and what axles are under it, and that'll tell you.
Okay, and then this just follows the same thing as everything else, maintenance free, same kind of compression rate.
Correct. They maintenance free, lifetime warranty. They will help with vibration. They are going to help with sway and trailer bounce. They will also help that trailer carry that load and keep your load from shifting as much.
That's super important when you're hauling heavy stuff on your trailer. You don't want it shifting around, and definitely don't want that sway. So, much needed improvement.
It'll reduce the bounce and vibration you feel into your vehicle as well.
So with all the new campers out on the market, a lot of them really have never towed a trailer before. They don't really understand, hey, this isn't like just driving my car. It's not going to feel the same. A lot of people come to us and they're wanting either a cushioned pin box or cushioned fifth wheel, or maybe even if it's a travel trailer, they're getting a cushioned ball mount just to kind of take away that road shock and all that vibration. What are these trailer Sumo Springs going to bring to the table? What are these kind of helping with?
So these guys, they're going to help reduce vibration. We did some testing with the Grand Designs camper at the Navistar Proving Grounds, and we saw a 68% reduction in G-force vibration and 133% change in vertical displacement. We knew they would work well. We just didn't realize how well it was going to perform. It was pretty astonishing, the difference between with and without. Night and day difference, and I have no qualms that your customers, your neighbors are going to feel the same way. These things have very cheap suspension put under them from the factory, so they don't put a lot of engineering into this suspension. Unfortunately, most of the money goes to the inside where people spend most of their time.
Yeah.
So people don't know that the ride and the towing can be better until they experience it, and that's what these will provide.
So in summary, each of these products kind of has its own identity in the market for each different vehicle, each different kind of application, but it's all going to get you from point A to point B nice and safe.
Absolutely. Yeah, our main goal with all these products is to get you where you're going safely and get you there with the best ride quality we can. Whether that's recreational or commercial, it doesn't matter. We want you to have the best experience and the best journey possible.
Well, it's great to hear. Definitely along the lines of our vision here as well. If this video wasn't helpful to you or you still have questions, please feel free to reach out to us either with an expert question, a comment, or a phone call, and we'd be happy to help you get set up for your journey.